green level and blue level clearance. Alright, so the first hand was unkeepable. This one's much better. So, I got up first turn blue level clearance. I'm not sure if I want to be playing that. I could play it, and then I think I would have to discard. That's one problem with this card, is you can't really play it turn one. So instead, I'm going to Caduceus, Eli, and take a credit, I think. This way I can res at least one of them, and blue level the next turn. Also, I put Caduceus on HQ because if he is playing Siphon, Caduceus is a little better to have on HQ because you can dump money into the trace, although that's not a very good strategy with the Cerebral imaging. It doesn't really work at all, actually. So this is a pretty good start for him. A very good start, actually. Fortunately, I get to either stop him or gain the money, or both. Right now, it looks like I'm just stopping him. Did it make no sense? Should I just put one into that trace every time? No, I guess not. Alright, so he misses on that one. That's good. Now I'll be blue leveling. And taking a credit, I guess. It's going to be hard. I'm going to need to discard if I res this Eli, so I might just decline, which sucks because he gets a Desperado credit when he gets in. But I had a Data Sucker token now. Oh, rough. So let's see. I go to 7 cards. I go to 2 credits. I'd have to discard 2 cards. I don't think that's acceptable. Unfortunately. I'd be discarding like Ichi, Restructure. It would be pretty good to keep him out there. He's basically just getting a million Data Sucker tokens at the very least. Although I guess he'd always just go to Archives for this, if this is what he really wanted to do. So, I guess no big. And the Wild Side out of Reina. That's a new one. Alright, I'm gonna have to keep taking 3 credits here. Wild Side, huh? So I can res this now. Do I want to? It would stop him, but I think I'm going to no-res it. I really just want to get this Restructure off. And he's just taking his Data Sucker tokens. What do I get? Alright, so I get a Restructure, and what else could I be doing? Where could I be putting all this ice? I think my play is to play ice here. I think I'll put a Caduceus on R&D. I can res, and then next turn I can archive Restructure. I have to assume a Mimic is going to come online sooner or later. And these Data Sucker tokens are going to get pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to clear them. I might just have to let him blow up all my stuff with Parasites as he comes. But it is possible that I could shut him out a little bit. He is on Wild Side, which sometimes can help shut people out. But with Ice Analyzer and Wild Side in his deck, you have to think Pawn Shop's coming too. Yep, daily cast, so probably Pawn Shop. Stupid Desperado. So good. Now Reina's like a real character. If you have turn 1 Desperado in your Anarch deck, Anarch suddenly becomes very good. So I don't have to worry too much about Siphon at least. What is he playing? How can he fit Desperado, Pawn Shop? That's 6, 7, 8. I mean, I guess he could play 2 Desperado, 3 Pawn Shop, and 3 Ice Analyzers or something. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. There's an agenda. So let's get back a restructure, and I guess I'll take Ichi. Do this. Now I'm ready to start drawing cards. Don't have to worry too much about Sneak Door because of the influence shown. And my assumption is Pawn Shop. Maybe he's playing 2 Pawn Shop. 2 Pawn Shop, 3 Desperado. That would put him at 13. 2 Ice Analyzer. That would be fine. I think I'd probably rather have the 3rd Desperado than the 3rd Pawn Shop. Considering you usually Wild Side into the Pawn Shop. At least that's the plan. So now he's probably just going to pay 1 to break the 1 Caduceus. To gain money, I would think. He says run the ETR trace. I mean, you can just... You have nothing, yeah. Well, I ETR, he says, since he has no credits. Yep, that's what happens. Alright, so I attacked him for 1, that's okay. I was right, there is Mimic. Continues coming after my archives. I could shut that off, maybe. Just ice him out. Draw a card first. There's a Roto Turret, that's okay. I don't think I'm like quite ready to just try and shut him out of archives yet. I don't think there's a reason to do that until he starts using the Data Sucker tokens. Maybe, I mean, like, I just want to keep him from laying down the Parasite and then coming in for the, Oh, and Dirty Laundry. I could turn that one off, too, if he's playing that. Probably is. Question is, how do I want to defend archives there? Roto Turret's not bad because it's like sort of shaky other places because of Parasite. He's got quite an engine going. It's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle. Should I run this trace? Probably. If he lets me. No, he does not. Okay, so he's jacking out after Ichi. Yeah, makes sense. It would be only 1 extra money to make him lose that trace, so it would be definitely a good one. Discards another Desperado. Okay. I'll keep drawing. Eventually that pawn shop's going to come along and it's going to be a real pain. Hopefully he doesn't have Link. That would be really annoying for these Caduceus. In making news, it's okay if the runner plays a Link. Like, your trade size is still alright because of your recurring credits. Especially if you have drip economy or just like a lot of economy in general. Because you can just beat them on the traces. Or you can at least tax them more than it's taxing you to put into it. Even if you're paying 1-for-1 with them, if you have a better econ engine going, you're happy to trade all your money for all of theirs. Here's the dirty laundry on archives. I have to think that he's going to go for parasites. I mean, he's Anarch, so he's got 3 parasites, or he should. The question is, how much can I really resist them? Should I just be looking to replace the ice? Keep enough of an ice stack on my HQ and R&D so that if he does parasite something, it's still not cheap for him to get in. Right now, he could just parasite 2 things, but unres ice is something that's going to keep him from parasiting a little bit. You'd have to parasite run, hit the ice to kill it with parasite, then hit the other ice. Blah blah blah. So I have 4 agendas in my hand out of 9 cards. There's 6 left in my deck, so my hand's a little denser than my deck. My draw in general. Alright, so there's a knight. That is not going to be very useful, I don't think. Not the sort of thing that's... I mean, it's not particularly efficient at all. And right now it's not helping him beat anything. And I'm not sure that it ever will. As long as he's got a lot of data sucker tokens anyway. And he looks like he's going to. Alright, so I'm gonna Jackson up now. Got more agendas. Okay, so this might be one of those games where it's easier to it might be one of those games where it's easier to just ignore R&D to some degree. And just ice up HQ. If he keeps parasiting away my R&D ice, I do run the danger of losing to mill. That's like a somewhat real possibility. Now, if he ignores my Jackson forever, I'm leaving it in play. I'm not going to use it to shuffle in because I could hit beta test. Alright, so he goes deep, pays his last click, and knight 2 credits to see the top card. It's not an agenda. Still hasn't found his pawn shop. So blue level, green level. Like, all these agendas are in my hand. I have no more agendas left in my deck. Let's start sorting things. Make it easier to count. For those of you who haven't seen me play this deck, it's got 10 agendas in it, all 2 points. 3 Corp War, 1 Efficiency Committee, and then the 6 3/2s. So right now there's 3 agendas left in my deck. He's going to need to hit me in the HQ to get the win at some point. Or he could possibly keyhole mill me and win like that. I've got all the different ice in my hands, I think. No, I don't have Caduceus. I'm running 16 ice now, 1 Viper, and then 3 of all the rest. So I do have to be somewhat wary of Keyhole. Because of the presence of Yogg, I'm probably just never going to play a Code Gate. Although that would be the easiest way to lock him out, maybe. But with 2 Data Suckers, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. There's a Biotic Labor. Unfortunately, I can't just score a beta test and win. Or I can't just score the Naked Beta Test now. Oh, he took the Parasites out of his deck. Yeah, that's a mistake every time. That's I think maybe the best Anarch card, period. How should I do this? If I just run the beta test, I want discards. So I'm gonna run Blue Level and then Hedge Fund. Next turn I can run a beta test. Run the beta test and put everything on HQ. Because now that HQ has 7 out of 10 agendas in it and he needs 4 to score, if he never gets into HQ, I never lose. And if I draw 1 more agenda, he's going to need to hit twice out of HQ, which is harder. Obviously harder than hitting once to hit twice. And right now he's going to have to pay, I don't know, a pretty significant amount. If he wants to dodge this trace, he's going to have to pay 5 to get in, sort of. Dodge the trace and not let me pay the money. At least 3. So he's on 4 right now. So he could do it. Could get in HQ. He's like 50-50 to steal. Okay, so he found his Aesops. So that should help him a lot. He's now going to be able to afford to get into HQ practically every turn, I think. He's not going to be pulling the noise stuff where he's milling me also, which is nice. But still, the Daily Cast, the Ice Analyzer, those are more money now. The Wild Side, whenever he gets tired of it. This extra Parasite, that's probably just going to... I mean, you're probably not going to need it. Might as well pawn it. Especially the one for the memory if you get the other one built up. Hemorrhage? What in the world does this do? That's the new one. What does that do? That's the one where you get to... I have to trash cards from my hand whenever he makes a successful run, right? Okay. Click. 2 hosted virus counters. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to run my beta test. I have 16 ice. There are 6 in my hand, 4 in play. So 1/3 of my deck is ice. And not so many agendas. So it's a good a time as any is going to be to run it. Okay. So I got a Victor. See what I milled. I milled obviously a Biotic Labor and a Celebrity Gift. So those are 2 cards I wanted to draw. Okay, so he trashes the Wild Side immediately upon drawing Pawn Shop. He's all stocked up. He's got his stuff in play. I think that's reasonable. This is gonna get him extra, time to do this. Now it's a lot more appealing to lock him out. Alright, so I'll trash, I guess I'll trash Viper. Not really a big deal. Next turn, I think it's going to be Ichi on Archives. I could do Victor also, but Ichi seems better. Just because, even though he's already got Mimic out, the anticipation of him playing Yogg is like, I don't know. I just anticipate it. So I'm going to Celebrity Gift showing him everything but the one that I'm going to play. And then play that one. I can also just discard some agendas to shuffle them in with Jackson Howard. That wouldn't be awful. Shuffling in, like, Corporate War. Along with a couple of other ones. He could just win the game off of R&D that way, but it doesn't look like he's getting his R&D very cheap. He said he doesn't have Parasites, so I don't have to worry about him making this very much cheaper. I mean, you can play Corroder, but that's still costing him net 3. I can maybe just lock him out. I don't know how appealing that really is, though. So if he does hemorrhage, I am going to shuffle in a Corporate War, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's silly. Maybe there's just no way he's getting in. Maybe I should just discard Rototurret. It's not like I won't have the chance to shuffle in a Corporate War later. Especially if I draw more agendas. The thing is, like, I feel like if I shuffle in Corporate War, I eventually want to draw it. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, he runs R&D. Let's shuffle in some non-agenda cards. Let's shuffle in one Celebrity Gift, one Biotic Labor, and one Restructure. Now I just want to clear virus counters. Since he had him on Hemorrhage too, now he's like semi-locked out. He's not totally locked out, but for every turn that he spends clicking through ice to gain virus counters and Hemorrhage tokens that I spend clearing, like, I think I'm winning that long game. Just because he's not getting that much better. He does have Pawn Shop, I guess. So he could be trashing, I don't know, random stuff from his hand. Could be trashing this Ice Analyzer after he uses the tokens. Forgot to trash daily casts. I don't know what he's doing. Does he have the right amount of memory now? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he is. Okay. Oh, he's putting Keyhole on it. Okay. So he's got how many memory? I don't know. So the threat is now real of him milling me to death. Glad I didn't shuffle in an agenda. Now I can just archive memories that beta test. And I will. Click for a credit. Just a simple click for a credit. My hand's pretty deep, so... Yeah, now there's 2 left in my deck. Like, way not enough. He can do this every turn, though. So I'm going to need to stack a little more ice on R&D. That clear was maybe a waste of time. I also have to worry about not getting enough biotic labors. Like this one, I don't think I can just use this archive memories on an agenda anymore. I can use it on a Jackson Howard once he trashes more stuff. Like if he trashes an agenda and doesn't run it, I can just get it out. There's a biotic labor, that's helpful. I think Eli is the way to go. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ice, so there's 4 left in the deck. One is a Victor. One is an Ichi. One is a Caduceus. Or no, 2 are Victors, right? Yeah. No, 1 is a Victor. So he runs the keyhole again. I stop him. At any point he could start running HQ. That would probably be the wise choice around now. Discarding a Yogg, so he doesn't seem interested in beating that Victor. Or unless, maybe he just has another one. Another Yogg, that is. I can score this turn. Run a beta test. Try and get lucky. How at risk am I? I've used all my archive memories. There's 1 biotic in here. So there's 2 biotics left in my deck. There's 1 Jackson left in my deck and 1 Jackson in my discard. Oh no, there's 1 biotic left in my deck. Yeah, this one's in my hand. It's not terribly appealing. I could just keep drawing. Scoring in general just doesn't seem terrible here. As we put more biotic labors in, I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to run it too. See if I care. 2 agendas left in the deck and I don't really care if he gets them. But I miss completely. And he gets 1. And I needed those restructures too. Shit. Alright, making it easier on him. So he gets 1 of my 2 agendas. So now there's 1 agenda left in my deck. 3 ice, and there's 1 of them. I don't really need ice. Just take 3 credits here. I think I'll win this race. His best shot is to play Yogg, lose the keyhole, and just start coming at my HQ hard. I don't think I'll be able to do it by milling me, because I can get back a Jackson, shuffle in more Jacksons. I'm also only 2 scores off winning. Celebrity gift, huh? Do I just want to let him have this, or not? I could grab Jackson, play Jackson, which I'm probably gonna need to do. Well, I guess if I don't draw the other, if I draw the other Jackson, it doesn't matter. But I do want to draw like biotic labors and stuff. It does keep him from trashing other things. Keeps him running R&D. Alright, I've convinced myself. I don't want to draw cards though. I just want to take the credit. So I have 1 Biotic Labor left, no Archives Memories left, 1 Jackson Howard left. My shuffle here is probably Biotic, Archive. Or maybe Archived, Biotics. This is weird. He could just run my Jackson Howard and get the same effect. Mostly. Alright. Oh yeah, I have to shuffle on this Vitruvius. Okay, so this is sort of dicey. Now I've got 2 Biotics left in my deck, right? Or no? Just 1? Or did I shuffle 1 in just now? I did. Okay, so I have 1 Archive Memories, 2 Biotic Labor, 1 Jackson Howard. So if he gets if he gets 3 out of 4 of those, and one of them is Jackson, I'm out of the game pretty much entirely. Okay, but I draw the Vitruvius. So I think I'm actually going to draw here, because I need to find all this stuff before he does. There's 1 Biotic Labor, so that's good. And now I can just show him a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to play. Then next turn I can run for a score. And then after that it's just finding another Biotic Labor before he scores. I'm out of agendas left in my... There's no more agendas left in my deck. So now this is just keeping him from milling me out. He's got to pay 2 for night, right? Yeah. So he's paying 3 and gaining data sucker tokens to do this, and spending his whole turn. Trashes a Biotic Labor, okay. So now I've got 1 Jackson, 1 Archive Memories left, and I need to draw 1 of them. Right? Yeah. Alright, that's good. I have an Archive Memories now. I could add ice on R&D, which seems prudent, actually. I'll put another Eli there. He's gonna need I don't think he can afford to do it. So now I have Jackson Howard. That's basically the plan. Is draw Jackson Howard, use him. I think I have enough cards in my deck, that is, to survive. Maybe I was drawing too much. It's possible I could be dead to keyhole runs. I'm not really sure. Alright, he takes money now. Jackson Howard. Alright, so there's Jackson Howard. Good. So, do I have a Biotic Labor in the discard? I obviously do. So, I'm going to play this. Archive Memories, a Biotic Labor. Click for a credit. And say go. Now I can just use Jackson to shuffle in some non-trashable stuff. I'll shuffle in Biotic Labor in case he imps one of mine. That could happen. What else do I really want? I guess Archive Memories is pretty flexible. So I'll just do that. I don't think the other two cards matter very much. I just need them for not dying buffer. I think I'm even safe from Vamp here. Not by a lot, but I think a little bit safe from Vamp here. So he does play a Corroder. But this still costs him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get in. You can't do it enough times. He can keyhole me. He needs to run it 3 times, and he's pretty far off that. He needs 21 credits and some amount of data sucker tokens. He's only got 12 now, so that's not enough. It would be enough to vamp me. I don't know if it would vamp me for the win or not. I would what? Archive Memories, Celebrity Gifts afterwards. If he just ran at me for 12 right now. Would not be good enough. So I think maybe I made a mistake in drawing all those extra cards to try and find the Jackson. Like, if the Jackson was the last card, I think I could have been dead. Because Archive Memories, without the Jackson in the discard, can't put cards back in my deck. So that was like a 50-50 risk of just losing, probably. Also, that the Data Sucker clear, I don't know. I did it in anticipation, I think, of Parasite. But it doesn't really matter. He's not going to trash enough cards here to stop me. He could like imp and trash my Biotic Labor for my hand, and then I wouldn't be able to win next turn, and then maybe he could do it the turn after. But I don't think he's got like an economy engine that's going to put him over the top like that. He could, I don't know. He could trash his... He can't really trash the keyhole. Trash Desperado? I don't know. To Aesops, I'm saying. I would be using all the data suckers on one, so that way he can trash one of them to Desperado. Draws a card, draws a card, draws a card. None of them are good enough. Yeah. Alright, good. So blue over clearance works out pretty well. I think it accelerates you to the end game faster, which is good. It increases your agenda density by a little bit, but it's not Super.